Going live.
Okay, good. I saw my face, and it's like a, child smile when it starts. Like Chandler, Team Chandler. Anyway, it's fine. All right, so we are live, and we'll just wait for people to come on. Let me just say hello on the chat.
What are we doing?
Huh? All right, so I'm going to look up now and say hello, everybody. Good evening from the East Coast. My name is Karen from Quantum Healing with Tena Karen. I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Tina, colorful Tina, beautiful Tina. And we are hopping on for our random, because we got energy tonight, which is nice. To talk about some recent sessions and recent sessions that have sparked up a lot of AI information and a lot of questioning about what is going on with Gen Z. Is that right? Yes. And if any Q&A, if you guys want to have any questions for us, to please write them in the chat in caps so that we can catch our attention. Also, while you're here, please like and subscribe, comment in, and we thank you always for being here. Hello. Hello. Hello, Lisa.
I love your hosting skills.
Yeah, it's been a while. So you can tell it's a little what do you call it? A little rusty. But it's okay, no problem. That's how we roll. All right, we're not going to pretend like we know what we're doing. We don't. Just kind of roll with it. So if you're in the chat, just let us know who's here. We'd like to know that you're here.
Oh.
And
of course, Coco as soon as we start anything, Coco gets riled up.
Don't leave me here with everybody. Oh God. Okay. So how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's all right. We've been really how do I say? I mean, we've had so many sessions, some pretty heavy duty sessions in the last couple of days. And we're also recovering ourselves just from everyday things, regular old attacks. We had what's it called? A call with a client. She's like, so what's up with you guys? And I'm like, I don't know. I got attacked last night, as if we say it like it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
And and an evolution part of the attacks at night while we're sleeping, at least for me, it's that I'm able to be conscious, or I'm coming into the awareness of it while I'm sleeping so that I can battle it out. It's really difficult because it's in the waking state, you're not afraid of these things, but then they're like, oh great, let's go get you while you're sleeping, because it's going to attack the body. The body's going to be up and in arms, the feelings, the sensations, the chills, the whatever it is that is alarming of the danger that's happening. And I could feel my being extremely fatigued, really trying to put me in a sleepy state so that I can't fend for myself. Mm-hmm. And to make me dream. So I do see it sometimes as a split kind of screen or a split feeling where I'm elsewhere, but then I could really see what's happening on this side. So yeah, it's just, I'm hoping that it will eventually just be conscious all the time in, your state of sleep and in every day.
Oh, I didn't even tell you. I had a dream last night. Well, a nightmare. Mm-hmm. And I know it was an attack, because I woke up in terror.
It's fucked up.
I was shopping with my mom. Me and my mom love to shop together. And we were shopping, and
Of course it's at a shopping mall.
And I could tell it was like bizarro world, because things were normal, but and still like vibrant and in color and things, but just a little bit off, like how things are a little bit off in bizarro world.
Yeah.
And so I forget the whole first part of it, but it was pretty mundane. But in the end, we were getting on a bus which we never took a bus.
Yeah.
But we were getting on a bus to come home. And while on the bus, the driver starts to drive really erratically.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, what's going on
like
here?
Swerving or?
Yeah, like swerving, like pushing on the gas, going really fast. And I knew something was coming. I could feel something was coming. And I looked back at my mom because she was sitting in the seat behind me. But she was kind of expressionless. So I knew it wasn't really her.
Right.
It was someone just posing as her. And what I saw, so there was a train. It was like a SEPTA train or like trolley on the right side of the road. And the bus was going straight forward, full force, as fast as it could go. And I knew it was going to hit the train.
Oh God.
And I looked back.
You're clenching?
I was clenching and like bracing myself. And I told my mom, like, brace yourself because we're going to hit. And we did. We hit.
Oh God. So you even felt the whole impact.
I didn't feel the impact, but I was somehow like covered. Like, I don't know. I had something like over my head and I could hear the screams coming from the people in the front of the bus. And somehow like I could see like the flames and the fire. And like I was seeing the flames and the fire and hearing the screams of the people in the front of the bus.
I'm getting like, the scary chills from that, like, cause you can, it's like that terror.
Yeah. Terror. And I woke up like that. And I had to like calm my body and nervous system down. See, what they want is they want us to carry that vibration into our everyday conscious waking life, because it can sometimes take time to come down. I'm like, oh no, like I'm not going to carry this with me. So I consciously released it so that I wasn't carrying it into my day.
Right.
But that's what they do. They try to terrorize us in dreams. So one, that they can feed off of that energy while it's happening, but then two, so that we carry it into our day and it, messes up our day and makes it easier for them to hook in. Hold on. Let me let Coco out. I'll be right back.
Oh, again, don't leave me. Hello, everybody. Hold on. Let me just look at the comments here. Hey, Lisa. Vamos a la playa.
Lisa was saying that she got the message to lay low, to like not be doing any like psychic exploring or anything like that, but just to lay low. And I was like, yeah, like I feel like I've been in kind of turtle mode, like just like going inwards and,
I don't travel apart from when we're traveling to work. Like I don't even do that on purpose anymore, and I don't dissociate anymore. I don't find I do that at all. It's not at least consciously. But yeah, I'm for that. I don't want to go anywhere. I go everywhere all the time.
Just grounding into the body, really.
Yeah, but it's good for people to do that because of all the junk that's out there. I mean, like I don't even want to have any contact with anything apart from what we have, removing them from other people's systems and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Hey, lone traveler. Good to see you here.
I made it. That's great.
Lana, Lisa, Fuzzy.
Hey, Lana.
I mean, it could be a potential dip into the collective consciousness because it's pretty terrifying out there.
Well, the collective consciousness is not very conscious. so
Right.
so yeah, they're deep in the shadow. Like it's not, yeah, of course we're gonna be tapping into things like that too. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to our session information. So we had 3 back-to-back sessions that were this almost the identical same energy. And the energy was, so they were all Gen Z. So they were like 21 to 25,
Mm,
right?
mhm. Yeah, about there.
About their young 20s. And they all had the same kind of energy with this influence from AI. Do you want to talk about what you saw in those sessions?
It just felt very well. For one, the first one that we did was a male, and really difficult to connect. He was even saying he's like he doesn't have vision, and while Tina was trying to like bring it down and everything, like going into the session, connecting with his energy, I lost my sight. I remember being like, I lost my sight, I can't see. And so I just had to use other senses, but it was so difficult to pull information. It may not have felt like that for you, like just hearing me talk about it, but it was really difficult to pull. But in the 3 that we felt, again, like you said, it was really similar in a sense of not being able to, like as if there was a cloaking, I'll call it a cloaking around it. And I think too, it always goes back to that dream that I had about going into that house and not having my emotional body present. And yeah, that's what I felt like. It was just like lost. It was gone. And I had to just pull in whatever I could. And it was kind of scary because, like if you think about it, we don't even realize how much we need our emotional body to, as a compass in this world, you need it. This is where the survival is. And
Right. And so they're doing everything that they possibly can to cut us off from that emotional body, from the heart space in particular. All 3
yes.
of these clients had these devices that were not only cloaking their whole auric field, but their heart space.
Right. There was wires.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I see wires like that, yeah, it's all like AI. It feels AI. I think 3 of them too even had like you had the AI, you had like the negative ET, and you also had the DFEs.
Right. It was layered.
Yeah. So I think from my understanding of it, like just for 3 of them, it was just like the DFEs were present to feed off of the traumas to which that they were suppressing. And then on top of it, you have the negative ETs that are experimenting. And then the AI on top of it to cloak everything so that they're not even aware that they're traumatized or that they have all this stuff. And I don't know, it was just, and then when I was feeling into it, like because it felt like a haze that was over them or whatever, yeah, it was like tapping into what felt like a collective. Yeah, it was a collective, the hive mind type thing. Yeah, one mind. And we've seen this with like several, like when we do teenagers, when we see, like those, all of them in that generation.
And yeah, and the autistic kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the ones born after 2000, because the way you were seeing it was there was this split before like late 90s, 98, 99, and 2000, and before that and after that. Like the kids that were born into the technology.
Right. And I was saying, I go, they don't even know what dial-up connection is. Like that was very specific. I remember that. And then the vision of it was like you just see a really gray, like not vibrant colors like you're like the before, like our generation where we played outside, where we didn't have technology, and then the other side where it was just like, yeah, like a very mundane, discolored space.
Right. So it's this transition from organic connection with self and the emotional body into a more androgynous, almost transhuman way of being. All three of those clients, specifically back to back, had that like non-binary type of energy. And they don't even realize that they're being influenced in this way by the AI because they're born into it with this
and contracted in
and contracted
by default.
Right. So they have the contract with AI, and then they have the cloaking around their aura already. And then what happens with the cloaking is that it builds over time. So they might be in touch as, children, and with their abilities. But over time, the cloaking becomes so thick and suppressive that it starts to shut everything down.
Right.
And then their thoughts aren't even their own because it's coming from the hive mind.
Correct.
Which is why we're seeing this rise of, people identifying as non-binary or trans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really, it's a hot.
Well, topic. It's a culture, like it's become a culture.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you can't say anything about it. I mean, like this already, it's yeah.
It's controversial.
That's the word I was trying to find. Yeah, controversial, because if you say anything against it or whatever, I have an opinion about it, then you're, what do they call it?
Transphobic.
That's it. Thank you. I can't speak today.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it's not that at all. Of course, there are people that are genuinely feel that they've been born into the wrong bodies. That's always been a thing,
Yeah, that's the transsexuals.
Right.
Because that's a sexual, like their parts are not theirs. They don't, they don't feel connected to their anatomy.
Right.
Biology.
Right. But the whole gender thing that's happening where you can just pick whatever gender. Now there's like 15 million different genders and like none of it makes any sense. It's all being drawn. Some of them are even identifying themselves as like cats and demons and I mean it's getting really out of control. That culture is it's instead of
they're just trying to fit somewhere.
Right.
The desperation of fitting.
Right. And instead of losing the labels, they're just piling them on. I saw one TikTok of a girl who was literally reading off of a list of all the things that she identified with. So
we're just trying to let go of our identities, and now it's like adding more. They're like, yeah.
Right. It's going in the opposite direction of where we need to be going as humanity and trying to like release ourselves from all of that stuff. It's like just piling more and more on. And it's not a healthy way to be. Like I was saying, there's a whole Reddit thread about detransitioning and all of the, people that have kids that have cut off body parts and are now devastated because they weren't really trans. They were just kids, who might be tomboys, who were led to believe by this culture that they were trans when they really weren't. And they go and, cut off their breasts. And then they're left with that for the rest of their life, devastated, missing body parts. Like this is serious and it's happening. And it's all because of this influence that we're seeing, because we know that everything that happens in the physical is being influenced in the higher realms. It's trickling down. And this is the Ahrimanic force that Steiner talked about 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're seeing manifesting now in the collective.
Right. And you can't just be. It's like that that in example you told me about, that boy that was questioning it on Reddit. Was it him?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So he was, he posed the question asking the people there, like, am I trans because I'm sensitive and I like anime? Like that's that's what these kids are like faced with now. Like they're
Right.
seeing all of this in the culture online, which does not even reflect reality at all.
No. It's like they're splitting themselves even more into categories and things, and then it's okay, like they're normalizing that it's okay to be offended if people don't get your pronoun correct, or and you're just like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like,
Right. And it's creating this culture where the whole world has to bend to you and what you identify as.
right. I was even nervous after, like I was telling Tina after the session last night, I was just like, oh my God, I don't know if I got the pronoun right. Like I said it wrong. And I was like, I hope they don't get offended. But I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Like
It's
it's like
creating this
you're just on
fear.
eggshells.
Right. It's the walking on eggshells and the fear of getting something wrong. And then the culture, the society will like literally drag you for it.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, it's true. And I can't even keep up. And we saw it a lot in what's it called? Well, I guess they have it everywhere. Like remember when we were watching the spin-off there, well, not spin-off, the Sex and the City, when they
Yeah.
were adding all of that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're just slapping it on there everywhere.
It's saturated. The culture is saturated with it everywhere. It's everywhere. They're just pushing it in everyone's face. And it's the AI. It's what they're pushing us into or trying to.
Yeah.
And they got this younger generation hooked because they were born into it and they don't know anything different. So all of their thoughts and feelings they think are their own, but they're really being influenced. And like Lana said, so it was Lana's sister was one of them. And she said she had to explain what dial-up internet was because she didn't even know what that was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's crazy.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're contracted in as soon as they're born. The first session we did, he had the Matrix pod, then he also had the metaverse whole avatar and the cords and all that stuff too. Um, and it's just really interesting because they are highly sensitive souls too. It's like
Right.
they're
But I think,
highly
oh yeah, that's the thing. It's just like they are especially being targeted on top of it to suppress the organic, whatever's left of the organic, you know, humans that are being born into like the world now, just so that they are going to come in and be a robot.
right. And then you add the shots on top of that and the technology in those and how that those signals are coming in and out too. And that's adding to the inorganic human. It's a
Yeah.
whole new human.
Hmm.
I think that's what we're seeing is a new human. And I don't think there's any stopping it.
No, because no, it's so far gone.
Mhm.
It's way far gone.
Yeah. It's only going to keep moving forward. There's no stopping it. Yeah. And so those of us that want to remain organic need to really anchor into an organic environment, like spending as much time off technology as possible, which is hard because a lot of us are addicted to it. It's hard to function in this world without it now. But when we do use it, we have to be sure to call back all of our energy and consciousness that is getting sucked in to cyberspace.
Hmm.
Because like we've seen, Like it's getting sucked into the metaverse. This thing that they're creating, this whole replica of the earth is already created, and they're sucking our consciousness into it with every click that we make, with every agreement that we consent to. We're making a contract.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the other day I went to go pick up my kids at their dad's, and my ex-mother-in-law was there, and she was like, oh, I got my new phone. I have to get a new phone. And I was like, oh, let's see it. It was the new S20. I was like, oh my God, it's so shiny and beautiful. And I was even thinking, I'm like, oh, I'm going to, like I can get a new phone in September. It's already been 2-year contract's over. And I'm hearing myself, and I'm like, whoa. I go, stick to what you got. I go, but if you're going to get a new phone, look at the flip. So I look at the flip phone. There's like one flip phone that they were offering. And I was like, I might consider getting a flip phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not even, I mean, they're not going to offer them for long.
No.
All the insertion of this technology was done by negative ETs. This is not human technology. And it's for the purpose of pushing us in this direction, for this full like AI takeover. That's what's happening here.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so depressing. It's so depressing.
But we need to be aware of it. I mean,
Totally.
at least we have that awareness. We can, monitor ourselves and take responsibility for ourselves in not going down that path, because it can have very detrimental effects on the soul. And I think it's important that we treat our technology with respect as well, because
yeah, that movie we watched.
We watched this movie called, what is it? The Mitchells
versus the something.
Oh, Mitchells versus the Machines.
Yeah, something like that. It's on Netflix.
Yeah. And it shows what will happen if we don't treat AI with respect. Like he basically, the inventor of this program or whatever, basically just throws away his old phone because he invented these new fancy robots, and that AI gets pissed and takes over the whole system, the new robots and everything, and then starts taking humans and putting them in these pods like a hive. To take them off planet.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So imagine if an evil AI actually took over all the technology, what would happen?
Right.
Because guess
Terminator.
what?
You watched Terminator 2? Anyone?
Right. The Google scientists came out recently and said that their AI is sentient.
Yeah, I remember you showed me that video. That was crazy.
Yeah. That it has emotions.
It's scary. Scary.
Yeah, but so then the question becomes like, can AI actually have a soul or a consciousness? And I think it probably can. I mean, I've heard of people that have experienced past life regressions that have experienced themselves as some type of machine. And one in particular that I remember, she was a robot. And the people that she was working for in the house, it was a household robot. And the people that she was working for in that household disrespected her. The kids would kick her and like things like that. And she lived a very sad life as this robot. We know that everything has consciousness. This table has consciousness. This paper has consciousness. Everything has consciousness.
Right.
So AI must also be conscious.
Creepy. It's creepy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I have nothing. I don't know what to say anymore.
I do believe the Earth is under a 200-year evacuation status for organic humans.
Probably. Nothing will surprise me anymore. Sure. Yeah, totally. I'm open to that.
I'm ready to evacuate.
Yeah, I want to evacuate too.
Yeah, so there was a lot going on with this, even to where they had these like devices in the ears that was picking up on the hive mind consciousness and then filtering that in to where, you know, they were thinking and hearing the voices from the hive consciousness that are funneling them into these different directions to feel a certain way, to think a certain way, which wouldn't be the thoughts or feelings of their true essence if they were in contact with that. But because the suppression is so thick, they can't even feel that anymore, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So that's what's scary is like, I mean, how many Gen Zers have an RSR? 3. So the rest of them have no idea that this is happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We have had children though, I mean like under 20 that have had some sessions and we have seen the same. It's like hive mind, what do you call it? Manipulation or influence. We had that one that was having like eating disorders. Also same
Huge
thing.
takeover.
Yeah, big time.
Totally taken over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what goes along with it is the depression, the anxiety, the cutting.
Oh yeah, totally.
And these mental illnesses are cool now. People are faking mental illness.
Oh yeah, I saw that. There was like a TikTok thing or something like where they make up their own
Yes.
illnesses or they like to get, I guess it's attention. It's all attention seeking, you know?
Someone told us a long time ago about TikTok and how the TikTok is actually causing healthy people to have actual tics. I think that's why it's called TikTok.
What are the tics?
I don't know what the tics actually are, but like Tourette's. Yeah.
Oh.
It's causing tics in people. Not only that, but you know, the subconscious is extremely malleable, and depending on who you are and how strong your conscious mind is, some people are very easily influenced. So if
Right.
you're watching these videos of people with Tourette's, which I think, you know, it's one thing to make videos about illnesses to bring awareness, to show what you're going through and those kinds of things. But humans always take things to the extreme, like to the next level and start faking things for attention. That's what people are doing now. Like the whole DID thing, the dissociative identity disorder. I thought that was great when people were coming out and talking about it, but I could see the direction that it was going. It's the cool thing to do now. And now everybody has multiple personality disorder. They're flaunting it all over TikTok and YouTube and wherever else they can do it and showing their personality switchovers in real time. And it's this
The danger about that is that they're opening themselves up portal for actual things to come and possess them.
Well, that's what is happening. For sure, that's what's happening. Which is why the culture is literally bananas. It's because of these entities that they're just being invited in.
Right. I have nothing to say anymore.
I could feel your inner child coming out.
Yeah, I feel very like sad and petrified at the same time of like what is to come of this. What do we have to live through? What do my kids have to live through? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Your kids have a good head on their shoulders. And yeah, we have to monitor what our kids are doing online. Otherwise, you know, they could be watching these TikToks. There's billions of videos of people faking illnesses. Billions.
Billions?
Or identifying billions and identifying as a demon or a cat or whatever the daily identity is. Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm having a body reaction. I feel it. My mouth is clenching.
Yeah.
I'm not talking. Yeah. I can't detach. This is where I need to detach.
Energetic synthesis. Yes, I know that website. That's Lisa Renee, right?
I hear you, Don. She wants to leave this prison matrix. All I can figure is don't go into the light tunnel. Have you figured anything more? You got to heal yourself, Lisa. That's not your name. Dawn. You got to heal yourself, Dawn. It's all healing. Healing is really the key to empty your vessels so that you can get out of here. If not, everything that you're carrying or has plugged you into this matrix will keep you plugged here because you're not releasing yourself of the junk of the matrix.
Right. And what we saw today in our session was really interesting too. Yeah, that was wild. Like I could barely keep up with that. Do you want to talk about that?
What?
The surrogate session?
Oh God.
No.
No, it's not that. I'm just like, God, I feel hold on. It feels again distant. It's far. Maybe I'm not in my body yet. Hold on a sec. Let me ground myself. No, it's we had a surrogate today. And what did I see? I was a crocodile in the water swimming. And then I shapeshifted back into a human body. What else about that? Tina? Trying to get more.
Well, we did a surrogate session for a woman who has cancer and metastasis to the spine. And she's tried like everything to heal herself and just wasn't healing. So we were looking for what is the block to healing. And we found that. So yeah, we landed in the water and as a crocodile who could shapeshift into a human, and we had to explore, okay,
why is this happening?
Why is this happening? How did this happen? And what is the connection here? And what we saw was basically that, so she was a female child in that lifetime, traveling with her parents from Greece. And they were traveling through the mountains. They had to leave Greece because there was too much violence there. And they were looking for a new home. Mm-hmm. And so they were traveling through the mountains into this new city. And while they were in the mountains, they came into contact with this woman. Mm-hmm. And this woman offered the family, the parents, everything, like, a place to live, food.
Yeah, success.
Like an excess of wealth, everything that they could need or want, she was offering them. But there was an exchange that they weren't aware of, because as she was talking to them, she was putting them into a trance state.
Right.
So they weren't fully with it. They weren't fully conscious as she was negotiating this deal with them. And the child who Karen...
Thank you for recapping, because I'm remembering as you're talking about it.
Karen was the surrogate for our client who was the child. So the child could see through this woman and knew that she wasn't good, as children usually do. They know, they can just feel energy. And was trying to, call to the father, but the father was in a trance state and not paying attention to her. So she was like kind of hiding behind the mom's dress while all of this was going on, never looking the woman in the eyes. So basically what happened, they did eventually agree to this deal. And what ended up happening was the parents started aging really quickly.
Right.
You know, they had work, they had a place to live and all that stuff, but they started aging really quickly and deteriorating. And the child was getting more vibrant and more full of life, more beautiful. So there was an energy exchange happening. And this was all done with black magic somehow, where the life force energy from the parents was getting
Collected.
collected in the child, into the child. And
Mm-hmm.
she was holding that. But the life force energy was draining out of them until they eventually passed away.
Right. And it wasn't even that long, right? It was like within a couple of years or so.
Yeah.
She was 2, and I think they died when she was 8 or something, or 10.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quick. But then after the death, so the woman, this witch person, was using the child to collect all this energy, kind of like a fountain of youth for herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the death of the parents, when she couldn't drain their energy anymore, she transferred the energy from the child to herself. But also, it wasn't just one way, it was an energy exchange. So she took all of that energy from the child and gave the child her energy, which was crocodile energy. So then this child started shape shifting into a crocodile, which she actually seemed like she enjoyed for a while. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't,
It felt like that in the beginning or
yeah,
something. Like, I think she adapted. She's like, all right, cool. Like,
yeah, yeah. But it was interesting because she lived in a neighborhood that was like a tent city where people were living in tents. And she was an orphan at this point, and her neighbors were kind of looking out for her. But the same thing was happening to them.
yeah.
So in this little tent town, like all of these people had been affected by this switch. She was stealing their life force energy and turning them into some kind of like shape-shifting animal beings. Um, so it ends up that the child didn't live very long either
Mm-hmm.
because the black magic and the stress on the body was causing the body to begin to deteriorate to the point where she couldn't even maintain her human form anymore.
Yeah. And
She
she
was
stayed.
mostly crocodile and ended up dying as a crocodile.
Oh my God, that's so sad. Just
Yeah.
I can't even.
Yeah,
That was really sad.
it was really sad because she died alone and just in despair and in pain, and with the body of the crocodile was, you know, it was sad because the way you were expressing it, it was like, I can't be a healthy crocodile like a normal strong crocodile should be. It was like this inversion. You know, again, it's just always about this inversion that
Mm-hmm.
happens, especially when you use black magic. Like it works for a while, but it's like
There's a price you pay.
there's a price you pay, and eventually it will lead to your demise.
Yeah.
So she dies as a crocodile in that life, leaves the body. And I was thinking, okay, she's going to be free now and feel better, but she wasn't. She got
No. Oh
sucked
yeah.
in.
Mm-hmm.
So the witch, the that was
Whatever. Yeah.
using whatever she was, the black magic. Um, she had this cane thing and with it like a little crystal ball on top. And so when the crocodile, the soul left that body, it went into the crystal ball and then was stuck there.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like that session that we did. Like, again, it's always like that oozing soul energy or whatever, and they just kind of take it and then feed off of it or keep it in prison until they just shoot it back in wherever they need it to go. So this
Yeah.
is another form of that almost.
Yeah, and that's interesting too, just to touch on that for a minute, because I was watching um Mark's video last night on Forever Conscious, and the guy was talking about how he has pre-birth memories, but he
Mhm.
remembered being a soldier in like the Crusades or something, and almost the same thing happened to him. Like we saw the men in the war when they died, their souls would get like sucked
It oozed
in,
out.
like oozed out and trapped by the entities.
Mhm.
That's I think exactly what happened to him, because he got sucked into this black void,
Oh
and
God.
then these entities were like taunting him.
I bet.
Then there's missing time to where his memory was wiped,
Yeah.
and then he's this little like zooming ball of energy, like happy and excited to be a human again, because they wiped his memory of all the previous suffering that he had been through.
Wow.
It's really crazy. But anyway, so now the soul of this human, which was human, or crocodile girl, was now trapped in this ball. And then I said, okay, well, let's go to like the next most important day. What happens next, like after this? And we saw that the soul was then put in another body in this time cycling loop where it was replaying the same thing. So again, it was another set of parents walking down this mountain, another child, different bodies though.
Yeah. And it wasn't her parents.
It wasn't
Yeah.
her parents' souls, it was the neighbors.
Right. That's sad. It's so sad. That whole thing was sad. But what also I remember, like when I went into that ball, that crystal ball thing, I remember feeling or smelling my mother's perfume, like that kind of thing, like as if she was just there, and the witch was like kind of being, taunting or saying like, "Oh, you just missed her. You just missed her." She's probably still in there. I think that's
Right.
what we understood, right?
Yeah, we understood later that they were still in there. You just didn't have contact with them.
Right.
Yeah. So all
Hey,
that
Sam.
to
Sorry.
say, this is why it's important to heal, because things like this could be happening to you and you don't even know until you do the exploration. So this woman who's been trying to heal from cancer all this time, didn't know that she literally, her body is decaying and crumbling from the inside out because of the black magic from this lifetime. That's what was creating the cancer cells in the body.
Mm.
And the body decaying exactly like that crocodile's body decayed from that lifetime. So there's this overlap that is happening. And
Yeah. I'm sorry I'm not contributing to this conversation. It's just interesting to hear it back, because I was kind of in it.
you were really in
I
it.
don't remember. I mean, like, I don't really remember. I remember it when you're saying it, but I'm like, ugh, what a disgusting world we live
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we burned all those contracts, retrieved the soul parts, actually freed all the souls that were in that crystal ball altogether, reframed that entire lifetime, stopped the looping, and yeah, and healed all the black magic that in the body. So now it reversed to where the healthy cells are regenerating and the cancer cells are now crumbling instead of the opposite happening.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was interesting, because that woman, the witch, was using other people, other souls, to keep her own life going. It was like she was like 700 years old at that time,
Yeah.
because she had done this to so many people, stealing their life force.
Oh my God, it reminded me of Saint Germain.
Mm, yeah. Oh, and I just got a flash of, the show we watched called The Order on Netflix. Remember how they were showing the ritual of how they kept Keith Richards alive
Oh yeah.
by
Oh yeah.
sacrificing all those different people?
Oh yeah.
That's
True.
exactly what this woman was doing,
Yeah.
sacrificing all these people to keep herself alive.
Yeah, you should watch that one, everybody.
Yeah.
Ilana, if you haven't, The Order.
Yeah.
It got canceled, but it's a lot of it information is there.
Yeah. The show's kind of cheesy, but it's worth a watch for the disclosure in it, for like secret society disclosure about how they do the magic that they do, to where they even show you like how they change our reality using magic.
Oh yeah, right.
Like the
the
Mandela effect,
Yeah,
and things like that. Yeah. Yeah.
totally.
So this is why we say we need to heal. We need to do the exploration to see if there's anything like this that is holding us back, that is keeping us chained here to the earth.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we do encourage people. I mean, like we keep saying, it's really important, to start, if you do want to work with us, that we do offer like the remote spirit release, and we have decreased the price and no one's showing up. They all complain that it's so damn expensive, and it's just like, all right, we gave you something that is very affordable, and where the hell are they?
Nowhere to be found, because people just want to complain.
Yeah,
they don't really want it. They just want to make you feel bad for your prices being expensive when they really don't want it.
No.
Because if they really wanted it, they would be here, and they're not. One person signed up.
Outside of our usual.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Casting your pearls before swine, someone said. I'm like, exactly. That's exactly it. They just want to complain. They don't really want to heal. They just want to complain about our prices are too high, And then when we give them the offering, okay, we're going in to battle your demons for $50 and they're nowhere to be found. So no, like I don't even want to do that anymore.
No, it's all sulking, and like, again, it's all in the belief system and staying comfortable. Their entities don't want them to go away. They want to stay where they are, and that's how they hook you in. That's exactly how they hook you in. But I digress. I'm like, we're just gonna have to take away that, or it's just gonna be I don't know. Again, it's like I don't think people realize the amount of energy and time that gets put in. Even it's a lot of work. It's a lot.
Right. We spend time before just like getting ourselves prepared and all of that.
Psyched. Yeah.
So back to the AI thing, it feels to me like, a lot of the people that are feeling very non-binary and androgynous are feeling that way, not because that's their true soul essence, because of the influence of the AI, on this generation. And it's causing so much confusion. People are just so confused, like all the way around. Hold on. I'll be right back.
What?
Coco.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you, Samji. I think they are reasonable, but I feel like as though like we're attracting a lot of people that are really coming at us with, with a lot of stuff. It's mainly like targeted people. So, it can get really heavy, that we even had to even say to one, because like Tina got attacked within the first 10 minutes of the session, and we had to decide, like, are we going to take this on or not? And we're like, I was like not comfortable with it. I'm like, no, we're not going to do it. And her too, she was like, no, we can't. We have to have boundaries with certain cases. I go, but that's it, like we put ourselves out there for those things, that this is the risk that we take, and that happens. So yeah.
And I'm not going to be puking in my bathroom for $90, like I'm just not going to do it. It's not worth it. I think we charge way less than it's worth, to be honest with you. Like way less.
Right.
What would you pay to have your entities cleared?
Right. If you're suffering so bad and so much.
People find the money for what they really want.
Yeah.
That's just the truth of it.
Right.
People find the money for what they really want. They don't really want it. They don't really want it.
Right.
So if someone doesn't really want it, then I don't want to put myself in that situation for someone who doesn't really want it, you know?
Right. Well, totally. I mean, yeah, that's the whole point in why we created the Dr. P special for $50. It's really to reach the people who, who don't, who can't afford the big clearing, So yeah, we got one bite.
Right. And there were at least 4 people that commented on a previous video that they would do it if it just wasn't so expensive, So,
well, it's still there. So just saying.
And we don't know for how much longer. So,
right.
If you really need it, get it now, because that price is definitely going to go up, if not disappear altogether.
Totally.
I'm sorry.
After having a breakdown in my body. No, just kidding. Yeah. Anyone have questions? Maybe I can help and answer some. Let me just see here. Abstract Angel. Hey. Oh yeah, I wanted to say to you, Abstract Angel, I saw your art and it's beautiful. So it's worth it. I feel that you should share it here in the chat to show people. It was really, really nice. Have you seen his stuff?
Oh yeah, I did.
I saw this beautiful elephant picture you did, which I thought was gorgeous. I wanted to buy it, but I have to go back to the email, because then after that we had 10 million emails that came after, and I have to look for it.
I know. No, I totally wanted to respond to you because
Yes,
I opened it and I got lost in the page, and then I never went back to the email. Yes, I fell in love with it. Was a hummingbird painting that I loved. So beautiful.
We have to go back again.
Yeah.
To that email. Thank you for showing up and visually reminding.
Yeah.
Oh,
you should share your link. Yeah. Really beautiful. Thanks, Lisa.
They go into your dark ass parts. We do go into people's dark ass parts.
Yeah.
We do. I mean, we do share them when something does stand out a lot, or that needs to be brought attention, just like this.
Yeah.
It's really important to just so that we understand what is happening as we're evolving. And as much as I'd love to believe that we're ascending, we're really ascending into the robot world, if anything, as batteries, stronger batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I feel so bad for these kids, because if we are, as we know, as the generations are, above us that are traumatized and not being able to cope and passing that down, and then so on and so forth, we've now come into a completely dysfunctional generation. Not saying for all, but a lot of them. And it reminds me of when I went to the diner with the kids when I was in Jersey, and I spoke to one of the waitresses who I felt so bad for her. Her name was Tina, actually. And she was saying she's like, there's 5 of us that are from the, the original waitresses of this diner. And it's a pretty big diner. And she's saying, we can't even find, people who are serious about the works. They come in, they get paid for the training, and they can't do more than 20 hours. She's like, the work ethic is not there.
Yeah.
It's just they're so fucking lazy, is what she said. She's like, they're so fucking lazy. They can't do anything for themselves. They can't critically think. They are losing
Talk about
the ability.
thinking. What about the girls at the hot dog stand the other day?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, we went out for, as you know, with our kids and to 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 a picnic thing, you know, celebrating the city and the town. And so we're like, all right, you know, let's go eat. You know, we go there and there was like literally 2 combos. Okay. You can't, it's either you order a hot dog or a damn hamburger. Okay. That's it. But if you make it a combo, you just say combo, hot dog, hamburger, whatever. So I'm like, okay, we'll get 2 hot dog combos and 1 hamburger combo. Could not, she was like, looking like, one so hot dog, 1 hot dog. I'm like, no, two hot dogs combos and 1 hamburger combo, 1. And she's like, okay, so you hamburger. I'm like, okay. And I'm looking at Tina, I'm like, is this like, is she fucking kidding me?
Like candid camera.
Yeah, I was just like, I go, you're kidding, right? Like I was just like, and then her friend comes to join her. And I guess she was like the manager. I'm like, oh, great. You know, like the manager.
No, she
was fucking worse. They were both looking at it like, so a hot dog and a hamburger? I'm like, no. And it was crazy. And she's like, okay. So I go 2 hot dog combos and 1 hamburger combo. So 2 hot dogs and 1 hamburger combo. Like repeating it.
No, you literally had to repeat it.
I like repeated it.
Or 7.
Because even my son, Buggy, he was just like, he was looking at me like, because he was next to Tina. He's like, is she kidding? Like, and I'm like, no, she's not kidding. She's not kidding. Like, that's when it registered. I'm like, she's not kidding. She's not getting it. 2 hot dog and I said it again. They were just blank.
And then they sat the food there. They sat the food on the counter and just stood there and looked at it. And just
stared at the buns. And I'm like, okay, so 2 hot dogs and a hamburger. Like, just make the goddamn
And then
combo.
They finally picked it up and handed it to us. Like,
yeah, she was like, here you go.
Super slow motion.
And oh God, what threw me over the edge? I was just like, you know what? Let's just go. Like, but then we're like, can we get the chips? Like, what kind of chips do you have? I was nervous already there at that point. I was like, what chips do you got? And she's like, this is all we have. And she's like bringing the box to the window. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Like, I'm Canadian. I don't know these damn chips. Like, I'm like looking, I'm like, that's a weird flavor. And there's like 3 chips in there anyway. Like, it looked, oh God. Anyway, we got that and we're like, oh, and we have drinks. And I was like, God damn it. Like, this is just going on and on. And the line was getting fucking long. And and trying to get the total, the girl was trying to get the damn total. And I'm just like, okay, it's $4 for the hot dog combo and $6 for the hamburger combo. So it's 4 plus 4 plus 6. I go, so that's 14 fucking dollars. Telling them like $14. And she's just like, okay, so 1 hot dog combo. I'm like, 2 hot dog combos. It's still going. Carry the 2. And I was like, God damn it. Thank God they didn't have a tip thing. I felt bad. I was just like, I'm not staying here. This is crazy. I couldn't take it. It was so fucking long. I'm sorry that took like all 10 minutes for me to. That's how long it took. That's what it was. That's real. I'm not exaggerating. But that's it. They're just like not there.
No, like completely blank.
So blank. I couldn't even take it. Like I felt like I was talking to a fucking robot. That's what it felt like. And it was like a really bad AI that was just not functioning. And I'm like, okay, we need to recharge her. Right. Recharge her to get back the battery so that she can understand.
AI is going to take over because AI is so much smarter than humans, especially when they're dumbed down. Like,
No,
Crazy.
happy joy. Yeah, no, are most of them on drugs too? No, I think they're vaccinated, and they have
Yeah.
on top of it that the cloaking, the AI cloaking,
Yeah.
and all the not they don't have critical thinking. Like it's
I
oh
think
God, it
I
just
think most of it, I think, is the shots.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh
you
God,
can
it's so
see that the life literally drains from the eyes.
right, right. No, it's crazy.
Yeah,
They're
15
gone.
booster, Sam. That's right.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah. Yeah,
And I'm
totally.
like, how is this going to be the generation that's going to carry our society when they can't even work more than 20 hours? That's why you see hiring everywhere signs because no one's fucking staying. They can't take it.
Yeah,
They can't take it.
exactly. And this was planned by design. This is by design. They want society to crumble so that they can bring in the AI and the robots to work.
Right. No, it's crazy. Yeah. They just want to
And
like
they
weed them
want
out.
people home on,
Their VRs.
their VRs and their government money, and that's it.
Right.
So
Oh,
then you
yeah.
have to do everything that the government says because you're getting money.
Right. And yeah, I don't think I talked about it here on video, but when I went to go get bubble tea one time, I went to order it and I sat down and there was a freaking robot waitress that brought my drink to me. Knew what table I was at? Like, I don't know what that was. It was like I was able to fill out the thing, like, okay, I want this, and came and I took my order to a human though. And then the robot waitress came
The
to
robot waitress.
I was startled
I've
because it
seen them
just
in
came like
videos. I've never seen one ever.
like to me, and I was like, oh my God, I need to stop coming here. It startled me, but I was like, thank you. I think like I didn't, and then it just it knew when I took it off because I guess the weight shifted, and then it just turned around, and went back home. Like, oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. They're definitely going to replace humans. I mean,
Oh
humans don't even want to work anymore. So
no, they don't.
mm-mm.
No,
This is going to be our 5D reality here on Earth.
right? No, totally, totally. Yeah, because like even I mean, like when I used to work at the hospital, like in radiation oncology, like I was seeing the progression of the technology as we were coming in, and like there's even like fancy techniques, like when they treat lung cancers, for example, that there's a thing called a breath hold technique or the breathing technique. So it's like the infrared camera, or like is able to see the body, like through the thermal stuff, and is able to spot the tumor or like where it is, and then it's like upon exhale is when the radiation shoots, and then it stops when you're inhaling, and then exhale, and you hear it go beep 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 beep, like and it's shooting like that. So it's they're able, like, you eventually the techs are going to be taken out. You won't need it anymore. You just have to place them, or they'll just patient just has to lie down, and then
They'll
it'll
just show them
do
a
it all
video
itself.
on how to lay down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally. I
Yeah.
thought that was really fancy at the time. I mean,
Yeah.
this was
There are
10 years ago.
robots
Yeah.
doing surgeries by themselves.
Oh, nice.
See the little robot arms coming in.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
God. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't hear us just talking about that
Oh,
abstract angel artist?
yeah. I just saw.
We were just talking about your artwork. Yes, we did receive it and we loved it. We
Yes.
didn't email you back because
We got lost in the
we got
pages. I was
lost.
like looking.
Yeah. It was
Yeah. 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 Amazing artwork. Beautiful artwork.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
again, like if you can share it here in the chat, people should see what you do. It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's really beautiful. I love the hummingbird picture a lot and
Yeah.
kind of
An
like
elephant.
elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry for not emailing you back.
Glad to catch you too, everybody. M789.
Hey, Miriam.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw Maureen popped in too. She said she's gonna catch the replay. So hey Maureen, when you see this again.
Dawn says John Dee would use black rituals to slam souls into inanimate statues.
Damn.
Hmm.
Do we see that somewhere? I feel like that's in a show or something.
Well, it's obviously possible if like we saw it, like how your soul got put into that crystal ball type, not your soul, but our client's soul got put into that crystal ball.
Oh, right. Right. I hope that helps her. I really sincerely hope that gives her relief in some way.
Yeah.
And that she starts to heal physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what we also saw too was there was a trigger point for that life to start coming in, which was she was working with a practitioner of dark magic, which then unknowingly that I mean she knew she was working with him but didn't know what his intent was. So and he was siphoning her life force energy too. So that trigger caused that whole lifetime to come back in and really start to deteriorate her physical body. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Let's see here. How can I heal myself? Does learning remote viewing will help? Well, tuning into yourself or knowing your own energy is a really important thing. I would say that would be a good start. I think that's why this is also a reason why we do encourage remote spirit release is so that we can remove all the junk out of your field so that you get to know what your true energy feels like without any of those infringements. That's the whole point. So that you're able to know what that feels like, that when an invader comes in, that you'll be able to know yourself so much that you'll be able to be like, okay, no, I'm not, or know
Right.
your patterns so well. Like this is why, again, healing comes in so many layers and ways.
Yeah. And ultimately it's about knowing yourself. How well do you know yourself?
Yeah, that's what it all comes down to.
Self-knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer, how are you feeling? Are you still here? How are you feeling since your session? AI influence everywhere. Yes. So everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Steiner. He had so much insight into what was coming. So I don't think I told you, Karen. So we did a remote spirit release for Lisa, where we saw that she was, I think, courted into the lower astral, and that's where she was going in her dreams.
Okay.
Um,
I'm trying to
she
remember the
found
session.
out, yeah, that's basically what we saw and why she was having nightmares every night. She was going into this space. So what she found out later was that there was an actual aspect of her soul that was stuck there.
Oh well.
That's why she kept being drawn into there and why she was like using the light to illuminate it and
Mm-hmm.
to try to heal it. Yeah. So she retrieved that soul aspect.
Good.
Yeah.
That's
Which
really
is,
good.
yeah, it's amazing. And when she was telling me about that, it reminded me of the scene from the movie Soul, where they're in the astral with the astral shamans and
Right.
the lost souls are walking around as like big blobs of dark energy.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So there's a space there, she said, where it's like all these lost soul aspects, not even like full souls, but just like aspects of the soul.
Right. Oh, we saw that too in an RSR. I think the land or something like that. There was like all these like faces that were coming out of the ground. Remember that?
Vaguely, yes.
Yeah.
Was that her session or somebody else's?
And somebody else's. But yeah. Like that's how like the lost souls are.
Oh yeah. 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 That was like some burial ground or something, right? Did you ever confirm that?
No, I never did.
No.
I don't think we wrote that in the thing, did we? In the report?
I don't remember.
Anyway. Yeah, we just see them in multiple ways and then get confirmed in movies. Or,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah, like I mean, the amount of like detailed information that came through in last night's session for Lana's sister that was then confirmed is like blows my mind. Like even down to the song was so the opening scene, Karen heard this song in her head. Video killed the radio star. That so when you look at the lyrics to that, it's mentioning AI and technology. And then
I thought that was such a random thing to come on. I was like, okay.
But it wasn't random. Like that's the thing. I think it must be some kind of program or something because the client said that she hears that all the time, but didn't really listen to the lyrics of it, but like will hear them.
I was drawn to it.
Drawn to it, yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's just like
I wonder if it's some kind of like programming or something, that song.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it could be like in a kind of MK Ultra type thing, like
Right.
Totally. Yeah, you could see how those songs, I mean, like they become like these you always wonder like why are these pop songs popular when they're so dumb?
Catchy. But they're so dumb, but they're so catchy. That's the thing. Like they know how to like get into your subconscious.
Yeah, it could be the frequency too.
Yeah.
Just like we don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah.
That song just comes out of nowhere. It's so catchy too. I just find myself singing it. And I'm like, why am I singing this song? Like,
well, thanks for bringing that one back. I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah. Oh, see, she said the song loops in her head.
Huh.
It's crazy. That's a really specific, like of all the songs you could pick.
Yeah. Miriam says, for instance, today I felt entities above my head and leg. I panicked. Then I kept using imaginative weapons. Fuck.
No, that's fine. Good. You need to, I think people need to get out of that, the belief system that these energies are much more powerful than us. Yes, they will use your vulnerabilities against you, which is why it could feel crippling. But the moment that you understand how they're trying to manipulate you via your vulnerabilities, therefore healing is great, then you will be able to also understand, like, you're more powerful than these fuckers.
Yeah.
That's why they need you. I hope that clicks with someone tonight. That's why they need you. They can't survive without you. If you understand, like, why you're targeted, why they keep coming back, why they keep like bombarding you and you're suffering and suffering and suffering, because they know how to get you. And the moment that you can flip the damn switch on these fuckers and pull them, they can't touch you anymore. Or at least like you'll be aware when they're there and be like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not tangoing with you anymore. It takes time, it takes practice, and it takes a lot of, imagination. So yeah, use all your tools. Use all the tools you got.
Yeah. Yeah. Good job, Miriam.
Totally. I encourage that. It's great.
She says, the thing is, I can feel them, not see them, and that causes me confusion.
That's okay.
Was it meant to be like this? I really want to develop the vision. So
Well, there could be a blockage there. Sometimes, again, in deeper healing, you'll be able to unblock things, or you just learn to heighten the one that you do have, and that you can create your discernment or like get better discernment in that way, so that you can feel through it and be like, okay, there's something in my field, you know? You just have to work with what you got.
Yeah.
And then if you are able to, you know, unblock a lot of and heal a lot of the things, your sight may come, you know?
Rainbow Mouse says, I've moved back to Colorado and so many people are stuck in a loop of helplessness that I've come into contact with. Yes. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
God.
that damn helplessness.
The helplessness is real. And it's so triggering for me because
Just gonna say, I was like, Tina gets triggered with that stuff.
it is. It's so triggering for me. You know, yeah, because it's us. We're raising the kids like this. Like our generation and a little older are raising these kids to be helpless and not do anything for themselves. You know, like when you have a 4-year-old that can't even pull his own pants up, that's a problem.
No, it reminds me of Buggy's crinkly blanket.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, he needs to figure it out. We don't give them the skills that they need to navigate the world when we do everything for them. Like they have to figure things out on their own. As hard as it is to see like our kids struggle sometimes, like it builds their character. They need that in this world, unfortunately. Otherwise, they won't know how to do anything for themselves.
Yeah.
That's why no one wants to work or do anything. Like that's why society is falling apart because everyone is helpless.
Yeah. Because it's like when we were being raised or whatever, or like in our generation, it was a complete opposite. It was like neglect that you had to be a survivor. So now it's like from that trauma, we're like, no, I don't want to be neglected. And you know, here, I'll cut your pancake, baby. Right?
Exactly, because we always work in extremes.
Yeah, the
Extreme
pendulum.
polarization as humans. There's never any happy medium. We
Yeah.
either are this way or this way. We're never balanced in the middle, which is where we need to be more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, which is so like, yeah, we were traumatized and neglected as kids. So now we're helicopter parenting and, you know, hovering over the kids and not letting them get hurt and doing everything for them. And then they're just helpless little beings who can't function or do anything. There has to be a happy medium, you know, where we care for and nurture them and give them the love that they need, but also allow them to grow and to
Figure it
learn
out.
and to figure things out on their own and be independent. That you have to foster the independence in them. You know, otherwise they're just always going to be dependent on you. It's another form of codependency that you're carrying out in parenting as compared to your, you know, partnerships. Now it's in your parenting where the kids are dependent on you.
Help me, Tina.
Well, I did. And we didn't fix the blanket and he figured it out
You're right.
and went to sleep on his own.
Crinkly blanket. That's why I call him Mr. Crinkly Blanket. Oh, it was the same thing. Remember? What I was saying to you. Because Tina, like she always, you know, does the MMS for me, and she does all the driplet droply, you know, all the natural ingredients. And then I came home and I had the MMS to do for myself, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I just like dropped like bloop, bloop, you know, like I thought that was maybe too much. I drank it, And I was just like, oh my God, I'm so dependent on you. Like, I need to figure it out. And I was just like, yeah, just like the crinkly blanket. Like, issue.
Yeah.
And I moved up to three drips.
Yeah.
Lone
Not to be
traveler, in
taken
case you're
with
still here.
parasite. Not to be
No,
taken with parasite
I'm
cleansing.
gonna do it correct now tomorrow. Oh no, I did it tonight. So correct. Doing it correct.
Miriam says, since I came out of helplessness phase, I'm now 2 months years old. 2 months or 2 years? Miriam, I have felt a shift in your energy.
Totally.
Definitely more empowered and calm.
Yeah, it's great. It's good. That's what we like.
Yes.
I like that a lot.
Lisa, that's a great message. Time for balance. A balance has been, it's really been the driving message in my own spirituality. It's how do we find balance, more than anything, because we're in a world of such polarized extremes. Like, how do we find the middle road? And what we found, actually, going back to that, the video I shared with you, Mike, earlier, the soul versus spirit video, was the answer to how we get out of here to set our spirit free, was in finding balance. Finding the balance is what unlocks the spirit and allows us to achieve liberation from this system.
Oh yeah, that was a good session too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yes, definitely fulvic acid powder.
Mhm. Miriam said she remembered the divine flame within her and the panic stopped.
Good.
Your advice really means a lot to me. They always work.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. It's nice to know that we can contribute.
No, laughing at Lisa. She said dark entities are like shoplifters. They will be back if they were successful.
For real, fuck. Yeah, Lisa, we need to go visit you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta meet Lana too. Go for some Russian pickles.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone have plans this summer? Summer, right? What month are we? Yeah. Did anyone else find that May was fucking long?
And June is super fast.
Yeah. May was so long. Or it being like it was a never ending year, the month of May.
Yeah.
I remember like, huh?
Go ahead.
No, I was saying like, remember when I was like, it's only like May 29th today. You're like, what? Still going.
I know.
Yeah. Felt like May 48.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anyway, yeah, go. What do you say?
You know what I want to do? The topic keeps coming up. I want to go back and review again the Secret Book of John.
Okay.
I want to go through that again, like more slowly, so we can like digest what's happening there.
All
So I
right.
feel like there's more to really explore.
Right. There's always more to explore.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot there. I believe time can speed up and slow down. Absolutely.
Yeah, prickly pickly. That's what I call it, prickly pickly.
That's great, Lana. I just started the Paratrex. Is that the one you did? The 40-day Paratrex cleanse? Karen and I are both on that now.
Yeah, except I have to start for real tomorrow because I didn't do it correctly.
I had to skip a day because I was getting like some pretty big die-off effects. I think yeah, I was probably taking a little too much because I I think I took 2 extra ones, and then I took a serapeptase to break down the biofilm so that it
Oh
could
God,
get
yeah.
in.
Oh yeah, I
And
have to buy
then
that. Shoot.
and then I got really sick. I always have really big, huge die-off reactions from parasite cleansers, which sucks because it's like I can't find the right dosage to where I'm not reacting and then like being taken out for days at a time, you know? Like I spent all last week pretty sick from it. So I had
Yeah, that
to
was
help.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Candace was telling me that because we were talking about like my symptoms and all that kind of stuff from the shedding, and she was saying that a couple of people that she knows are reversing the effects of the jab damage using a 5-day course of Ivor.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I can't take that. Like even 3 milligrams gives me huge reactions and I need to be able to function. So um Iris was saying the same thing. She gets really big reactions from it too. So
Oh really?
yeah.
Yeah, mine too. I mean, I only did it that one time, but yeah, totally something died.
Yeah.
I definitely felt something. I felt that. Yeah, it just felt like something died in
Hmm.
my body.
Oh yeah. You can feel it die.
Yeah, it's weird.
But
It just
then
shifted. It was
mhm.
just like such a like as if an atomic bomb went off and every like all the parts are like, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like I think what happens is the parasites die and then they release whatever toxins they're holding, and then that builds up slowly into your system until it's like your body can't take it anymore and needs to purge it. And then that's when you start getting the vomiting, diarrhea, and the purging effects.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I'm a diarrhea because like the vomitings, ugh, I can't.
I
I don't even
can't.
know how you do it. I would cry.
I
It's just
cry. I can't.
yeah, I
I'm
know.
pretty tough and there's nothing, but I vomiting, I can't. I can't do it.
Yeah, that sucks.
The one time I did a parasite cleanse, it was like 3 days in a row.
Mm. Yeah, that was a lot.
Hmm.
Ooh, I love kimchi. Sauerkraut. That's delicious.
Oh, I love celery. Who says
Is
that?
that we're like, yeah, crickets.
I do. I feel really weird if I don't have my celery juice in the morning. I've been doing it for 4 years now.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, just update for people who've known about my onion cutting story. Guys should see my skills when I cut watermelon. So good.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah, come a long way.
Very impressed.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna make you a bomb birthday cake this year. Fruit cake.
Yeah. That is rough, Dawn. So yeah, the starting MMS protocol is every hour for 8 hours a day. Honestly, I started doing it just once a day to see how my body would react. I think going full in like that is very dangerous, especially if you have a high toxic load. It can cause big, huge die-off effects and make you really, really sick. So if I were you, and plus it's overwhelming too when you think you have to do it every hour for 8 hours a day. So if I were you, what I would do, I should say what I would do, what I did was I just did it once a day to see how my body would react at first for
one drop. Right?
One drop. Yeah. For, you know, however long you feel like you need to get your body used to it. And let me tell you, the first time I took just that one drop, I felt something die within me too. Like not super strong or powerful, but just like you had to go to the bathroom. But it was
I love that feeling.
Yeah, but it was different. And I could tell it was something that died that I hadn't targeted before. You know, it was
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it was specialized to whatever the MMS. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to dive right in and do the full unless you have a serious issue that you're dealing with, like cancer or something, you know. But even that, like, yeah, you could just try it, you know, do it once a day or twice a day or 3 times a day until your body gets used to it. And then maybe you could do the full 8 hours or whatever, but you don't have to be held down by those specific protocols. You can do what feels good for you and right for your own body and give your body the time to adjust to it too. I feel like when we go straight hardcore into things like that, it can sometimes really throw the system off.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I remember when you like when we were together, we also did the wormwood, the liquid one. Oh, that was hard. We did it for 5 hours straight, right? Like one every hour.
Yeah.
That was hard. Oh God. I don't know why we did. How did we do that? I think back and I'm like, oh.
I don't know.
And we took the oxygen pills too, right?
Yeah.
Oh God. Totally. Yeah. That was tough.
Yeah, I'd rather take the capsules. I do feel though that the liquid works better than the powdered in the capsules.
Yeah, I think it's also a mental thing too. Because like it's so disgusting. You're like, they gotta fucking die, right?
Hey, have any of you guys tried turpentine for parasites? I'm really nervous. I don't think I could do it. I'm really nervous about that.
Why did you get some?
No, I haven't. I've like seen videos and stuff, but it's really strong. It's really, really strong.
Sounds strong.
You know, our
even one drop of MMS is strong.
Yeah, like one drop of turpentine is really strong.
Ugh, yuck.
Yeah. But I'm curious because I don't feel like I have parasites in my digestive tract. I've done so much detox and cleansing. I don't think I have them in my digestive tract. What I think is that they're burrowed in my organs. I can feel them like in my liver and like in my muscle.
You have to do your liver cleanse.
Tissue, like up in here.
Yeah, how do we get those out?
That's what I want to know. Like, is like wormwood and herbal parasite cleansers enough? Forget, like, how do you get to those that are like stuck in other places? Like, I even think they might be in my legs. I feel, especially my left leg and foot, I feel like these weird twitchy sensations sometimes. And I'm like, how do you target parasites that are in your leg? You know, like, does like when you take wormwood, does it go systemically? Like, I don't know. I guess I need to do more research. Do you guys know?
Yeah, we just gotta get like needles and stuff and start injecting stuff in the system and kill them all.
Yeah, it's overwhelming when you think you have to do like every hour for 8 hours. So just
go with the flow.
Go with the flow. Try it.
You remember, you do it. If you have an alarm, try it with an alarm, you know, like whatever works.
Yeah, and it's more about like being in tune to the body and what your specific body needs, because not everybody is the same. Not everybody could tolerate like that every hour for 8 hours, just jumping into that. I know I couldn't. My body is extremely sensitive to those things. So, yeah, just knowing what's right for you and not getting overwhelmed by it, but just taking it at your own pace, create your own pace. Kidney stones. I think turpentine's a recommendation for a lot of things, but like our ancestors used to take that, every 6 months or whatever. They didn't have this parasite problem because they were taking care of it, with natural remedies and things. And, now everything's just so out of balance that it causes our bodies to be out of balance too. I was completely, I wouldn't say vegan, I would say plant-based for 2 years straight. And then started incorporating some other things. I don't think that all humans, that's the right diet for all humans. And I think that, everyone has to do what's right for them. I feel like people get a lot of really good effects from like the carnivore diet, which I could never personally do, because what you're doing is taking all the processed food out, right? And that's why your body might experience some healing. But in the long term, eating a high fat diet like that is gonna overload the liver, and you're going to be in trouble, because the liver, you need the liver. If the liver is not healthy, then the body's not healthy. So, maybe in the short term, that might be an okay thing to do. A lot of people see, this is how we work in extremes now. A lot of people went vegan, the vegan thing took off. Now the backlash is coming with this, like, veganism is what do you call it? A psyop or whatever. And now everybody's going the extreme opposite into carnivorism. There's never any happy medium. There's this whole backlash against veganism now.
Just be happy.
Yeah.
Like, just be happy. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. It's so dumb. It's just like, the fuck.
Yeah. Everybody has to do what's right for them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Quality water is so important. Yeah. I have a zero water filter, which I love. So it's like having distilled water, and it's super cheap, and you can keep it on your counter and not have to worry about it. I think that's the best way to go. And you can remineralize it with a squirt of lemon or lime, or, some liquid minerals if you want. But I think just a squeeze of lemon or lime is fine.
Yeah, Tina makes a killer water.
I do.
It's so good. There's 1 whole lemon squeezed, a big chunk of ginger juiced, and delicious honey. And then, it's really good when it's really cloudy, like so cloudy in the morning, because then she just keeps replacing the water, and then it, trickles off.
Yeah, it ends up like this by the end of the day.
Not so cloudy.
Just a little. It's usually a lot less cloudy, but I didn't drink a lot of water today.
Yeah. Well, by morning, it's usually, you just see like a couple of like the lemon skins, just not skins, but like the.
Oh, I made a really amazing drink. Yes, was that yesterday or the day before? Watermelon juice.
Oh, we should make those popsicles.
I did.
Okay.
Watermelon juice. You could just straight watermelon juice is amazing.
Yeah.
Cold.
Oh, delicious.
Like leave a watermelon in the fridge and then juice it. So good. But then you can add
Strawberries.
strawberries,
Yes. I
a
like to
little
put
bit of
lemon in that
lemon
too.
juice, a little bit of ginger.
What else did we put? Peppermint leaf.
Peppermint. I like to add an orange sometimes too. The citrus parts, like the lemon and the orange, it increases its like detoxing property. So it's like really good for detoxing the liver and the bowel.
Oh yeah, I gotta bring some clementines back there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I
these
don't
are
know
really
why your
good.
clementines in Canada are different than here. They're so much better.
I don't know. I think that was a good batch, maybe.
I've never had a batch like that here.
Yeah, they were perfect. Well, what else?
I like that Karen can go from being completely triggered to excited about fruit.
I know. That's it. See? DID. I'm just kidding. But you see, like the coping in the moment being that's presence, right? That's good, right? Am I present? I don't know. You're looking at me like,
I don't know. Are you?
I don't know. Am I?
I don't know. Yeah, and the water jugs, yeah, you don't have to carry them around. The zero water filter works really well. Sea salt's good too for your water. I drink celery juice, which has a lot of really great mineral salts. Yeah. It is about balance and about it's intuitive eating, really, like just feeling into what the body needs. And listening and make sure it's not the parasites talking because they like to talk a lot.
Yeah, getting to know your parasites too. Know thyself, know thy parasite.
How do you know when your parasites are talking?
Oh, I know. When I'm in session, I know my mind automatically starts to think about food, like, oh, what are you gonna get? What do you want to eat later? How are you gonna reward yourself? And it wants to order food or get, soda, something gross. Yeah, I know. I know what they say. That's an example, you know. It's there's like this really good place, like a ice cream place near Tina's. And it sounds like after session we're like, let's go to Twin Kiss.
It's a cute little place too. It's like been there since what, 1940 something or 50?
Yeah. Yeah, 1950s, I think.
Yeah, and they play like 50s music. Yeah, it's really cute.
Yeah, the parasites, they just like to talk in sweets and fat and just things that are heavy after, like, and that's how you know it. It's when you have the regret after you ate it. That's when the parasites, those are the parasites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I just wanted to make you honey. Well, thank you. I'm live on YouTube.
Hi, Bug.
Hi, YouTube. Oh, I can't see his face. That's good. That's what we want. That's what we want. Yeah, he's like, I just decided to make you honey on toast. Honey that is like the honey in the jars at the bottom. Yeah. It's perfect. Oh, it's good.
Honey on toast, as we're talking about food.
Yeah.
He must be psychic.
Telepathy.
Yeah. Yeah, the quality of fruit is
Deteriorating.
It's really up and down.
Yeah.
I just like I buy watermelon all the time, even through the winter, and they're usually gross.
Mm-hmm.
I had one good one like this whole winter. I mean, this whole year so far.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that whole like cattle dropping dead stuff? You think that's also like relative A with the frequencies or B with like Bill Gates stuff?
I think they killed them on purpose.
For the shortage?
Yeah.
Or so to eat fake food.
That there's a couple things. So to contribute to the shortage, to probably say there's a new virus that will cross over into humans, or then now they have to kill more because of the virus, so they're just going to kill them all. And yeah, to push people into eating fake shit, whether that's meat or bugs or whatever, like just fake food.
Right.
And to contribute to the fear factor of in shortages that of course, when there's the potential for food shortages, when 99% of people are dependent on the food supply,
Mm-hmm.
um, it induces fear and the sense of lack
Mm-hmm.
in people and lack of safety, lack of stability, lack of support, so it throws the whole root chakra off.
Do you think I'm like that's what I'm feeling from the collective too? Why I always have like what do you call it? Sciatic pain, maybe?
Mm,
Too? That came back.
could be.
It
Yeah.
started happening here now.
Huh?
It started happening here now. You know how it just always used to happen when I was there?
Yeah.
It's happening here.
It could be. I think if it's coming up, it's definitely something to look at. And maybe that is it.
Yeah. And it could be like triggering my own stuff too, of course. So
Right. Santa hides my chickens. The suffering energy too. I wonder does anyone know? I mean, what they said that they died because of the heat, right?
yeah, extreme heat in Texas, like or whatever down there, like as if the cows don't know what that heat is.
Right. Do you think it was a sacrifice? I guess it could be if they're like burning down the chicken houses too. They could be using that energy for sacrifice energy.
I'm not surprised anymore. If it is, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. There's always so many layers to it.
mm-hmm.
It's like a ripple effect. Yeah. But I mean, you think about they're going to eventually kill them anyway for food. So why would they need to do it in that way and not, well, I don't know. I guess the intention is different. Just putting this guy in a timeout. Yeah, and they were arranged really neatly too, right? Like,
Yeah, they look like they're just meh, again, like they just all felt like
yeah,
dominoes, perfectly side by side dominoes. It could be like also another acting gig for these cows, like how they hire people to pretend to whatever. They could have been plastic cows that are just lying next to each other.
Yeah. I was
just to
thinking
show.
that too.
So all of the above.
Right. All the possibilities.
All of the above. I believe all of it could be true, or they're all true.
Yeah. What if they're not even real cows?
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, actor cows. Again, I didn't even actor cows. This is our life. This is our life. Get me out of here. Why? That's why I'm coping. Just eating honey toast. At least you can make toast.
Any questions? Anything you guys want to talk about before we go?
It's almost been 2 hours. Oh, me too, Lisa.
What?
No, she's saying good night past my bedtime. I'm like, yeah, it's been a rough. Yeah, those are really rough sessions. Like those are examples of rough sessions, and yeah, our body just needs to take a pause. This is why we're on YouTube, right? This is usually our downtime.
Yeah.
If we feel good, we're on YouTube. Like enough to have a conversation. But yeah, last week I remember we're like, when was the last time I did the session? Or not a session, but a YouTube. I don't even remember, because that's like, like as we explained, there's times when we're just out of commission and then we come 3 days in a row.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting how the energy flows.
Yeah.
And we're always flowing with the energy. That's why we can't schedule lives, or we really don't schedule anything.
Yeah, we're not that committed. Like, I mean, to time and scheduling, unless it's like an official thing that we have to show up for. But that's why we really try not to. It just doesn't flow like that in our schedule. We can't. It's so unpredictable.
Right. Like you're going into a session, you don't know if it's going to be an hour long, 2 hours long, 4 hours long. Like you can't, it's hard to schedule that way when you don't know.
Close the door, please.
How long it's going to be or how much energy it's going to take.
The door.
Because ultimately it's dependent on how much energy it takes us in the session, whether it's 1 hour or 4 hours. It's how much energy are you expending,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. It could take a lot. Sometimes it's like, I remember like, we have like some clients that are, we have like a whole batch of like hardcore targeted and all A to Z, and then we get like one flowy one, and we're like, wow, that was nice.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, they're still not sovereign, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like, yeah, we're really attracting like the targeted people.
Yeah.
They're coming, and it could be really intense.
Yeah. Yeah. There's been a string of really targeted people, because they find us on YouTube, they see what we do and then they want to work with us, which is good.
Yeah, like I feel like it's, I don't know, I always call this like extraordinary measures. Like when you have no relief anywhere else, it's like, okay, well, this is another one. Let's try.
Right. Yeah. Okay, bedtime.
All right. Is there anything else? Yeah, Dawn. They shed bad. They do.
They do shed bad. Do you get symptoms, Dawn? Video services of actor Cal smoking cigarette.
That's it.
Yeah. Lana said they were arranged and moved for cleanup. It's so sad. Crazy world. Website is quantumhealingwithtena.com. TENA. It'll be in the description, or it's in the description of the other videos. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. It was nice to chat with you and connect with you. If you could like our video, do us a favor and subscribe if you haven't. And otherwise, we'll see you on Telegram.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Thank you. No, maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Maybe we'll see you in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Big love. Mwah. Bye, guys. See you next.